Good evening everyone and welcome along to League of Europe. We are here on F1 2021 and this Season 7 Division 1 Round 15 of the Championship. Just 3 rounds to go as of course we've taken the Canadian Grand Prix from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. My name is James Hay, going to be taking you to the stream as always on a Saturday night, the week before Eurovision, and of course joining me in the comment box as always, it is of course the 4-time League of Europe F1 champion. It is of course NSX Montana. Montana, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. Spicy in the championship, doing very well because of that, of course. And it's going to be the last 3 races of the season. And looking forward to this one, quite a decisive one.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun race, I think, here in Canada, obviously, tonight. Speaking of the championship, going into tonight, obviously, not really many stewards reports actually came out last week. I do not believe, of course, in Hungary. Drivers were hungry for success. It was Connor who took the success, of course, in Hungary. Finishing second that day was... I'm just trying to look because my standings is wrong. Was it Pease in second?
Jensen, no?
No, Jensen in second, yeah. Because I've got it on split view, I can't see who's second or not. But yeah, it's Jensen in second, and finishing in third was Rudy, of course. Rudy finished third, very strong performance from him last week. And it's Campbell who does lead the way on 177 points. The gap closed down 2 points, nothing found to be wrong for Justas's collision, of course, late on in that race. Campbell the well on top by 1 point. Coming into tonight from Justas there in second. Connor in third, ideally needs to win and hope that Campbell and Justas finishes either 10th, 11th or 12th here tonight to remain in mathematical contention of the championship. Nathan there in 4th on 121, Verstappen in 5th on 108 points, Yildirim in 6th on 88, Jensen in 7th on 82, Pease in 8th on 79 along with Jeroen tied on that position, and Izzer in 10th on 64 points. But obviously Campbell leading 177 points for his name, Justas second 176 points for his name. Who you're taking tonight, possibly, because obviously this is, I would think, a wheel track rather than a pad track.
It is, and it's a penalty track, so both drivers quite good in terms of managing that. And from experience, I think Campbell was really strong on this track, but he's done some one-stoppers, which are quite odd. Two-stop usually the quicker one around here. Tire wear is horrible. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much risk they're willing to take. If the teammates can play an important part as well, once again. But yeah, a close one, I can't really call it. I think Connor is probably the quickest one on the track, on raw pace. But yeah, we also have to keep an eye on Campbell and Justas all the race long.
Yeah, definitely so, and obviously Mercedes still leading the constructors as well, even though they had a disappointing week, to be honest, last week. Of course, AlphaTauri came back at them, scored full 44 points for that first and second, of course, 17 points to Mercedes last week. So Mercedes leads 285 points coming into tonight, AlphaTauri in second on 217, Ferrari, however, in third, a point behind on 216 points, so that's going to be quite interesting. Alpine in fourth on 196, Red Bull in fifth on 175, Alfa Romeo in 6th on 113, McLaren in 7th on 103, Haas in 8th on 80, Aston Martin 9th on 50, and Williams in 10th on 36 points. Coming into tonight, obviously Mercedes look like they're going to wrap up the constructors. What do they need to do? Because I think mathematically they can actually do it here tonight.
Yeah, I don't have the numbers, the maths figured out yet, but they should be quite safe. We saw AlphaTauri gaining a huge point advantage last week, but I don't think it's close enough with Jensen saying he's not put in the practice this week. It's going to be almost impossible to beat them, so if they just keep scoring consistently, Campbell doesn't get involved in championship incidents and stuff, they should be fine.
Yeah, they should be fine indeed. Jensen, by the way, has literally come back into league racing. This is the first time we've seen him all week here in league racing, and that is because he unfortunately had to have his appendix out. I think he ate something and it caused obviously his appendix to flare up and he had to get them taken out. It's Jensen's first race since that surgery, so hopefully Jensen might be on form in terms of the pace tonight. I wouldn't be surprised though if he's towards the back end of the field, but it's good to see him recovering, good to see him back tonight as well. Of course he was going to make his debut actually tomorrow night in TTML F1, but good to see Jensen back and hopefully he's going to recover well, and all of our thoughts of course are with him in in his recovery, and best wishes, of course, because I'm sure he's going to be back in fighting Vettel and form coming out on track tonight. 4.3 kilometres length, though, here at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. 2.7 mile in length. The 14 turns awaiting our drivers out on track. Of course, we've got like the Virage Centre, the hairpin, of course, at turn number 2. We've got the Droit de Casino, which is the Casino Straight, and also Lompingle, which is at the top of the hill, of course, in the hairpin. And Montana, this is a track that is fabled for penalties and fabled for the Wall of Champions.
Yeah, it's literally all the chicanes just thrown into one track at a hairpin or two. And yes, there's punishing track limits. You need to risk a lot, especially in qualifying, to get a quick lap time. As we see, dry conditions kind of cloudy. So ideal, especially also with tire temps for qualifying. You should see some rapid times. Just waiting for the weather report for the race as well. But yes, really difficult track to drive. You have to be focused at all times. Quite a lot of laps, and of course there's also a Wall of Champions, which Campbell and Justus are probably going to aim for tonight. So yeah, looking forward to some action, heavy overtaking spots as well, but always delivers Canada.
Yeah, it always delivers Canada, indeed. Jensen, by the way, saying in the chat, saying man ate something and it decided to flare up. I couldn't think of anything else to say about it, to be honest. Literally thinking on the spot, trying to say something there. And Jensen has said, to be honest, I don't know what caused it. It was just very random. But he's back tonight. Hopefully going to be in fine festival and fine form as he develops, I think, through his league races. He should be back to form very soon, indeed. Packard, the first man out on track. The American, of course, coming and hopping over the North American border here in Canada. And Packard will be hoping for a very good result coming into tonight. Looking at Jav in the comment section as well, he has said dry qualifying and race, but both have chances of rain dropping. Nothing exact for this weekend, so perhaps we're going to see changeable conditions in both qualifying and in the race. Looking at Packer though, on a set of mediums, I think it's going to be dry all session.
Yeah, it should be a dry one, which is always good. It provides a bit more racing. Although wet races can be nice once in a while. We want to see those DRS trains and overtakes there. So yeah, Packer gonna be the first one to take it up. James, go for it.
As he comes through the final couple of corners, through the World Champion chicane at 13 and 14, and on the run down in towards the centre hairpin at turns 1 and 2. Packer starts off this lap around this 4.3 kilometre circuit. Through the left-hand of turn number 1, through the centre hairpin at turn number 2, and then, of course, up the hill and towards turn number 3. Don't worry about yellow flags, just drivers preparing up for this lap at the stage, and Packer now coming down in towards turn number 4. Then through the left-hand of 5, and he's just invalidated coming through turn number 5, which is absolutely typical. Right on track, I think Yaron is the next man on a lap. He's on a set of soft compound tyres, and just for retrospect, it was a 19.1 through the first sector from Packer on a set of mediums, 19 flat, however, though, from Yaron through the first sector. Oh, and he gets a right snap of oversteer, catching the outside curb way too much coming out of turn 7. Nearly ended up in the wall. Bit of cold brown there from Yaron. Backs off his lap. Not many drivers, I think, actually on a lap at this stage. Is Connor on one?
Yes, he is, and he's absolutely sending it. So beautiful, so satisfying to watch a lap on this track when they nail it. And he's looking quite good. Mediums are not a bad tyre for qualifying here, if I remember correctly. He's once again using approximately on average 2 higher gears than I do in every corner, but it seems to work for him. And now it's all about risk management. How much you want to risk? You have a consistent turning point. He's absolutely sending it. Oh, just gives the Wall of Champions a little notch, maybe a hint of what's to come from him, and it's already at 8.7 on mediums. That's probably going to be hard to beat from a lot of guys already.
Jensen on the 109, Flack comes into second, you're on there in third, not a really bad lap time there, 19.5 though, on that side of soft compound tyres. Connor, you said, absolutely sent it through, nearly hit the wall on the right hand side, he got away with it luckily, and he's now out on top. Killer Blue comes in first, soft compound tyre lap there, 109 flat, the sun has now begun to come out. Jav, by the way, saying in the comment section as well, he's seen Mr. Lewis Campbell do 8 flats, so probably going to be up there, assuming some nutter hits a high 7. Very good. Yeah, I'll take that, to be honest. I will take that. Rudy, though, goes quickest. 108.7. Set us off compound tyres in fine form from last week, of course. Finished third in Hungary and starting where he means to go on. But Connor Campbell in behind, only, what, 200ths, 300ths of a second off for both of them. Connor and Campbell look like they're the ones that are going to improve on lap times. Where we're going to see, actually, in terms of lap times, because I think around an 8/10 improvement will probably be the case from a set of mediums to a set of softs.
James, have I missed something?
Have you missed something?
Is Justas not racing?
Justas isn't racing. That's a good spot. I didn't even notice that either.
What? Wait.
Justas is not racing, unless he's got a qualifying ban. Let's have a look.
He's not in the session, is he?
He's not even in the session. This is weird. Hang on. Oh, he put in the non-attendance chat. Yeah, he put in the non-attendance chat earlier on in the week that he couldn't race, I believe. I remember seeing something from him. Just trying to look. Yeah, 3rd of May. Can't race this week.
Well, that's so much about typing up the title battle. But we move on. I was just wondering.
How long has it taken us for us to notice, though? It's taken like 4 or 5 minutes to qualify for us to notice, dearie me. Rudy out on top, Connor second, Campbell in 3rd. But Justas missing here tonight. Big open goal opportunities for Campbell and Connor.
Yeah, especially for Campbell, if he just gets a decent result here, scores 15 odd points, he's got it in his own hands then to just win the championship with some P2s or P3s. So, wow. Perfectly prepared as always, but if Campbell drops one, Connor's going to be right up there with him.
He should be. Yeah, he should be. I mean, 108.7, as I say, about an 8/10 improvement possibly on from mediums to a set of soft compound size. I've certainly seen nearly second improvements around here as well in my league racing career around here in Canada on this game. Rudy the Wild on top, Connor second, Campbell in 3rd. Rooter lost his front wing somewhere in the middle sector, I believe. And Nathan is going with the Neo, I think, back into the pit lane here, if I'm not mistaken. As Nathan now goes past him. And goes into the pit lane, and Neil, and they race each other into the pit lane. What's the point of that? Nathan and Neil race each other into the pit lane. There's about as much action as we'll see coming into the pit lane tonight. But that was a weird one, as I think we've just seen Marine go up to 4th. So 108.8 there for Marine in 4th. Jensen now on an out lap. Rocco, I think, has just gone off a lap as well. But Jensen will be the next one to go on for a lap, I believe. No, Connor's actually furthest on.
Connor's yeah. Yeah, Connor furthest on, and now going into Shane, you don't want to risk too much starting the lap, you need that front wing as well. Not needed at the end of the lap anymore. But yeah, you obviously can do 4 runs in this session because the pit lane is so short. Not cutting as much as Packer did in turn 1. Using 3rd and 4th key in turn 2, which is absolutely mental. Can't understand how he gets the car around the corner. Then another chicane, why not, for good measure. Absolutely cuts that perfectly. Probably going to be a sub-19 first sector, is it?
Oh!
18.8. Gets the rear end a bit turn in the braking zone, so quite nice turn in, they can control it still. And now the nerves start to pump when you see you on a good lap in Canada, and that's what you want. So another chicane, another track limits, and it's a bit too wide, and that's already the lap goal.
Yep, invalidation out on track. Looks like there's a possibility that there's going to be a restart, perhaps, because Nuth has got a qualifying ban. Not sure if he got told of it, but he has got a qualifying ban. I believe he's picked up too many license points this season, so that is why Nuth has got a qualifying ban. That's why we need to do our homework just before we go live as well, because I didn't even notice anybody had a qualifying ban. But Nuth there, in 10th, 109.2, there is a possibility that he will get a quali ban. He had a qualifying ban tonight. Whether or not, though, it's going to be a restart remains to be seen. We've got 10 minutes of the session left. Nick does a decent thing and retires. Everyone probably is behind is going to improve, and then he's going to be at the back of the field. So technically,
should have disqualified himself. No.
Yeah, he could have. I think that would be probably the best thing to do, unless he hasn't got access to Discord.
Yeah, probably, and you're not really focusing on Discord as Jensen, whilst taking all the paint off the wall of champions, took it to P1 on the set of softs.
Connor was 2/10 up as well through the first sector, but he's backed off his lap. Packer, I believe, is coming. He's just backed off his lap coming through the first sector. It was a 19.1 first sector, though, from him. Rooter is just starting up on a lap as well. And I think Rudy is on a lap, if I'm not mistaken, but he's invalidated as well. Campbell on a lap. not many drivers actually on a lap at this stage. Jensen out on top, Rudy second, Connor third, Campbell fourth, Ryan filling out the top 5. Izza, Jeroen, Neo, Killaboo and Nuth off the top 10, then Verstappen, Dylan, Rocco, Kumbly, 14 drivers that have completed laps. Of course, Nuth might disqualify himself out on track. Pease, Wouter, Packer and Nathan haven't got lap time set in. They're all on laps now, or at least 3 of them are on laps at this moment in time. On board with Campbell, coming to the middle sector. The Mercedes, of course, is the big open goal tonight for the Mercedes team to wrap up the constructors. Ferrari, of course, down to 1 driver, with Rudy only being the driver helping. And Campbell's 5 tenths up in the middle sector, 40.3 through the middle sector is electric around here. And if he improves, go into the Wall of Champions, if he improves here, this is going to be, I would think, a sub 107 potentially on for Campbell as he comes now down the hill in towards turn 13 and 14. The Wall of Champion chicane awaits him. It's still Jensen out on top, Rudy second, Connor in third, and that was perfect from Campbell coming to the Wall of Champion chicane. 107.9 potentially incoming to the line, and he doesn't, and it's shy, and it's a 108.2, but he still goes quickest by nearly 2 tenths of a second. So Campbell out on top, Jensen second, Rudy in third. Anybody else on a lap?
No, I see so many invalidated laps. They're all cutting the chickens like there's no tomorrow. But yeah, some people now are starting the laps. Some Ariel boys coming to the first sector. You can absolutely cut the second chicane on this game. It's insane. But it's so risky as well. Don't see any purple sectors at the moment though, James.
Yeah, I'm over with Nathan coming out the Epingle hairpin right at the top of the straight down towards turn 10. Nathan is looking good on his lap. He's about 2-3 tenths shy of Campbell, so I'd be expecting him to go around Pease, Rudy, Connor, that sort of area, maybe ahead of Ryan, and cuts that perfectly, coming to the World Champion chicane, and now on the run to the line from Nathan's perspective, and he goes second. Good lap time from Nathan, really found a lot of time in that final sector. 108.4 puts him into second, so Nathan, like in Canada so far, as is Packer, who's there in third, as is Rudy, I believe, has just improved on his lap. 108.4 on that set of soft compounded tyres. Everyone else, of course, is on a set of soft compounded tyres now, including Verstappen, but he's invalidated. Dylan's also invalidated as well. And Nuth is going to get him disqualified out on track because he's obviously seen the message. He's off track at the Epingle hairpin, and we're watching this on the stream. I'm going to watch this on the stream's perspective, but Nuth looks like he's going to retire the car and disqualify himself out on track, which at least is a good thing to do.
I messaged him on PlayStation, maybe he saw that, hopefully he didn't have to.
There you go.
But yeah, so that's that sorted, I hope. Otherwise, unless someone else gets disqualified, but yeah, that's that sorted, and the set of tyres gone for him. So, not gone, but with a bit of wear. So, a bit useless, but at least we have the order now, don't we, to restart anything.
Yeah, we don't have to restart anything. Really good sportsmanship, I've got to say, from Nuth. He's obviously seen the message, obviously seen his mistake. Izza has made a mistake, though, coming to the chicane. He's just invalidated his lap when being up on his time. It was 3 tenths up, 40.3 again through the middle sector. So Izza, one to watch out for potentially later on in this qualifying session. Everything's got a bit quiet now. Campbell out on top, Nathan second, Packer third, Jeroen in fourth, Jensen in fifth. However, Jensen, I believe, has just gone on for another lap. So Jensen's improving on another lap as Jeroen has had a 5-place grid penalty for collision with Izza.
Yeah, Izza retired on the straight. I don't quite know what happened there. And I think Jeroen collected him. So that's really unlucky.
It's a weird position. Weird position. I've seen that in FRL. You might remember T-Hawk had an incident in Canada in FRL this season. Yeah. And that was very, very similar, I've got to say. Similar place. Jensen, however, has just invalidated his lap as we ride on board there. 108.4. Campbell though out on top. Nathan second. Packer third. Jeroen in fourth. 5 minutes to go, just over that in the session. Connor is preparing up, I believe, for a lap. And he's going on a set of soft compounded tyres. So clearly feels he is going to be having this pace. Let's watch on board with Connor on the run on this lap. In towards turn number 1, in towards the centre hairpin at turn number 2, negotiates the first 2 corners safely out of turn 3, and then of course down the hill in towards turn number 4, and then through turn 5. Oh, this is 3 and 4, then through 5, and then in towards the chicane of 6 and 7, and it's an 18.8 through the first sector. So already electrifying the times in the first sector. Purple out of everyone, and now he gets a little bit of snap of oversteer coming out the exit of the corner there through turn 7, on the up in towards turns 8 and 9, which of course the next chicane out on track. Plenty of chicanes, and he's took too much curb. That is such a bad track limits penalty to pick up, because you invalidate your lap at 40.3 in the middle sector. He was really going quick, but that, for me, that didn't look like a track limits invalidation, because he took basically the curb as it is in real life. So Codemasters have done him in there, to be honest.
Yeah, also the right-hander is the problem. You can carry so much more speed in the game than in real life that you just naturally run a bit wider as well. So it's a really annoying one. I remember in F1 2020, I think you could absolutely extend that corner like no tomorrow. But yeah, Connor now only with one run to go, as he gets held as well. Maybe 2 laps if he's lucky. And only down in P11. And Campbell, the championship leader, P1, and I think he may have saved a set of tyres cheekily.
Yeah, I think he has. I think he went on to set a medium compound size first run, so that is why obviously he saved up that compound towards the end. Koen Bly on a lap, he goes 8, 108.5, good lap from him. Very close qualifying session though, as predicted. Campbell although out on top, Nathan second, Packer in third. Next man, I believe, to come onto a lap is Killer Blue. He's coming around the final couple of corners. There's a Mercedes just starting up a lap of Verstappen, so actually we'll cut to Verstappen first, and then we'll go back on board with Killer Blue. As now Verstappen comes through the right-hander of turn 2, and then in towards the right and left of turns 3 and 4, and then as he gets very close to the wall coming out of turn 4 there through turn 5, 19 flat through the first sector, not too bad, but compared to what Campbell and compared to certainly what Connor was doing, 18.8, Verstappen's not really quick through the first sector.
Yeah, we don't really see the improvements coming in right now because it's just all the pressure and track limits coming together. Verstappen now in the middle sector, what can he do? 40.6 only. It's not a huge improvement, and Campbell needs him up there to help him get that those big points. But yeah, people struggling to find the last killer lap.
Yeah, Verstappen's still on his lap. He's coming down into the World Champion chicane now through 13 and 14. He can make up time here, but again, bit hesitant. If I've got to be honest, this is a 108.7 possibly from Verstappen. Oh, 108.7, and he goes 11th. He goes 11th. I was going to say, he might be right on the bubble. 108.7, he is on the bubble. He's there in 11th, and I think, to be honest, for him, that will suit him nicely because he'll be starting, obviously, on a set of medium compound tyre.
Yep. James, you should probably predict the hundreds next time. But yes, Campbell is over a 10th up. And as Chaff already mentioned, maybe we see someone just dipping into the 7th, which would be insane. And absolutely sending it. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. That's going to be a 7, isn't it? Come on, Lewis Campbell. Give it to us. Ooh. Yes, good boy. What a lap. Great lap.
Really good lap, but what's the response in behind? Packer's not on a lap, but I believe he is improving. Eurona's at 18.9 in the first sector, so Eurona improving through the first sector by 900s, but he's got to find 5/10 of a second, basically, on the rest of the field. So we'll run above with Eurona. Other drivers on the lap, obviously, so we might see more improvements as the session goes on, but it's Campbell out on top. Rudy has gone second, though, 108.1. Good lap from him. Eurona middle sector, 40.5. Off in the middle sector, but he has got Slipstream in front of him if he wisely uses it up, but he's just gone for spin, coming to the hairpin at the Epingle hairpin, and Jerome now is back to off his lap, and he's going to get maybe one more crack of the cherry. Jensen has just gone third, I believe, with a 108.2, and he's just came off his lap, so that's him done. Nathan is also invalidated, I think, or he's backed off his lap, and he's in fourth, and at the minute it's not improving as Marine has retired out on track, I believe. Was that in the pit lane? Pit lane.
I think it's pit lane, yeah. Yeah, it is. And Connor again invalidating his lap, by the way. Rudy and Jensen, great jobs from them in this session. Anyone else coming to the line that is not invalid? Verstappen is still pushing on, isn't he? Yes, he is.
Verstappen is pushing on. He's there in 12th at the minute. And he's purple on the middle sector. Didn't see his middle sector split as he comes through the Epingle hairpin at turn 10. Now on the run through the kink of 11, down in towards turn number 12. Reuter is now retired in the pit lane as well, as has Campbell. Campbell feels he's done enough. Maybe not so. I don't know if anybody's going to improve, though, on this lap. So we'll have to wait and see. Verstappen now coming through the World Champion chicane at 13 through 14. Nearly hits the wall on the right-hand side. Got a little bit tetchy on the steering on the run to the line. And he doesn't actually improve. And he's off by 1,000th of a second on his lap. Connor is through the first sector. Not sure what he was doing through the first sector. He's low on fuel, so this is Connor's really only opportunity. Nathan also on a lap as well. He's coming toward the end of a lap, but he's invalidated. Packer is not on a lap. Eurona's not on a lap. It's only Connor, really, and Pease, potentially, that can improve. And it was a 19-1 from Connor through the first sector, and this screams to me as if he's going in the top 10 but maybe he's open for 11th position, or maybe he just backed off his lap at the end. We'll see what Connor is doing as he comes now through into the final couple of corners, along with Pease, who's coming through the chicane, so I'm watching on board intently with his lap. One of the McLarens goes 11th, that's Dylan, I believe, going 11th, and Connor, down in 16th position, has to try and find a little bit of time, as he clips the curb as Pease is spun through the final corner there, as the Connor now runs the line, and he goes 7th. Good lap by Connor, 108.4, way short of what he was doing, though, in the earlier sessions. Pease is spun out the final corner, and that is the end of qualifying. It is Campbell out on top by a good 2.5 tenths nearly over Rudy. Jensen there in third in his return. No practice, and he's had his appendix out, and he's third. Great lap from Jensen.
Yeah, he obviously removed some weight, so he got the advantages there. No, but great job. Williams could probably learn from that strat. But yeah, great job from Jensen, and also Rudy stepping up once again. Absolutely beautiful stuff from him. Connor probably cracking under the pressure, just taking it too cautious on the last lap, losing 3 tenths to his PB in the first sector. So Campbell doing everything right as he can right now. He's got a huge advantage in qualifying, but can he transfer that into the race?
Yeah, possibly so. It is Campbell out on top, Rudy there in second, Jensen in third. Very good lap times by all, I've got to say. But Nathan there in fourth, Packer in fifth. Yavona's going to drop down to 11th, which is crucial because Connor, Ruta, Killer Blue, Mariah, Kumbly all jump up position. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be starting on that set of soft compounded tyres. Jerome will also have to start on that set of soft compounded tyres because he qualified within the top 10 positions. Kumbly, though, obviously gets moved up that position, so I think he might be starting on a set of softs. We'll have to wait and see. Dylan, Rocco, Neo filling out the 14, and then Verstappen in 15, Pease in 16. Izzo there in 17th, the Singaporean, I should say, in Nuth, of course, disqualifying himself from the session as a result of a qualifying ban, which actually, according to Jav, wasn't actually put in the steward's report. So, how are we meant to know if somebody's got a qualifying ban if it's not put in the steward's report, Mr. Eloise Steward? Yes, I'm outing you on the stream. Funky Chicken, by the way, has said he's just seen United concede 4 to Brighton. Brighton are winning 4-0 against Manchester United. I'll cheer you up, Funky Chicken. At least you're a Northerner, and at least you could be a half Sunderland fan because Sunderland won 1-0 last night. So there you go. And anyways, we're getting in towards the formation lap, and it's very overcast conditions here in Canada tonight, and that means threat of rain is never too far away.
Yeah, and you don't want to be on a dry setup in the wet here, you can tell you that. Absolutely horrible feeling, probably the worst you can imagine on a F1 game. But yes, cloudy, good for tire temps, but yeah, I don't know, it's just all about safety cars here, isn't it? One safety car at the wrong time can absolutely screw you over. But we've seen we can recover from the back as well. Remember the legendary drive from Matt TU in Division 2 a couple of seasons ago, from last to first. So it's a track where we can overtake and do an undercut with a strategy. So don't count anyone out yet.
Looking at the top 10 scenario, by the way, Kumbly is starting on a set of medium compounded tyres. Yvonne obviously has to start on the set of softs. He qualified within the top 10. Kumbly has a free tyre choice, and he's inside the top 10, and he's on a set of medium compounded tyres. Pease and Liz have already had a collision on the formation lap, which is not ideal at all, because you're going to be having very cool temperatures off your tyres at the start of the race. But Campbell out on top, Rudy second, Jensen third. Top 10, of course, bar Kumbly, qualified on that set of soft compounded tyres. I'll include Yvonne in that, because he did qualify on that set of soft compounded tyres. Kumbly there on a set of mediums. Dylan, interestingly, set of softs. Rocco, Neo, Verstappen, Pease, Izza and Nuth all on a set of medium compounded tyres. That screams out to me, Montana. One-stop strategy, potentially, although two-stop could be a call.
The one-stop is easily possible with tyre wear, that's the thing here. But, somehow, fresher tyres give you a huge advantage on this track. We never found out quite why that is on this track, certainly. But yeah, so I expect some two-stoppers. I would do a two-stop, but I'm not an actual driver in LOE anymore, so we'll probably see a couple of one-stoppers, two-stoppers. We won't see any hard tyres because they're like, I don't know, ice cold and stone hard on this track. Not even a consideration. But yeah, we already see Peace and Issa saving tyre around the formation lap. What do you have a look at that?
Yeah, definitely so. Larkin, by the way, in the comment section, Eloise Stewart has just been outed on the stream, and Larkin has said qualifying ban was because of a late notice of no attendance from last week. It was decided on Saturday, so before the steward reports went out, and he was told at the time. But a lot can happen in a week, and probably forgot, I think, on that one. But we are better get going here in Canada. I'm not going to ask you for your top three, because it looks like we're getting going straight into the race here tonight in Canada. 35 laps, of course, away now. Drivers out on track, and we're just moments away. Is this Campbell's opportunity, the open goal chance, or can Rudy try and stop him? 5 red lights are now out in Canada, and it is. Lights out and away we go, and Campbell gets a very good stop, but Rudy's slightly better off the start. Jensen's going to have to cut across on Nathan as well, but down in towards turn 1, Campbell leads. Rudy in second. Jensen tries to go all the way around the outside. Now on the inside line, gets caught up on the mix, and now Nathan tries to go all the way around the outside of the centre hairpin and gets him done. So Nathan's through and he's into third. Lovely move that by Packer as well into fifth. Connor there in sixth. Rooter there in seventh. Everyone's clean through down the field. Campbell though leads the way. Rudy in second. Nathan in third. They come through the first sector split. This is the Alpha Tauri under pressure from the Alfa Romeo. That is Rooter and Connor going side by side. Connor's made a mistake coming through the chicane, and now Rooter's on the outside line, and it's going to be maybe 3 wide as Killer Blue's going to try and join on the act as well. But as they come now down in towards the third chicane out on track, it's Campbell that leads the way. Rudy in second, Nathan in third as McLaren got straight on there, and I think that's Dylan who has cut across the track. There's Jensen forced to move on Nathan down in towards the hairpin. He's out there on the inside line in for third. Red Bull tries to get the up and under though, and now the AlphaTauri, the two sister cars, are going to be side by side on the run down the straight here in towards the World Champion chicane. Everyone, as I say, is clean through. Iz has dropped a couple of positions, might have picked up a little bit of damage potentially, but Rudy hunting down Campbell on the run down toward the World Champion chicane. Doesn't though get close enough for the move, and it's Campbell that leads at the end of lap 1. Rudy in second, Jensen third, Nathan there in fourth. Dylan and Yaron are already in the pit lane. Looks like Nutherthing is potentially coming in the pit lane as well as a spinner at the final sector, and that I think is Dylan. Is that in the wall? No, it's Nuth spinning, and Dylan is into the pit lane from Yaron. But Campbell leads the way, Rudy second, Jensen third, end of lap 1. Only Yaron and Dylan into the pit lane, but otherwise very good stuff.
Yeah, a bit chaotic at the back. I was on board with those guys. Nuth had to use the emergency exit in the last corner, which he took quite nicely. As Kumbaya has got absolutely no front wing. It seems like. Yes, he's running the low aero package, it seems like. He's got no front wing, no front end, so we'll see him pit as well. But yeah, all the top guys are mediums on soft tyres right now, so the mediums can't quite match them yet. But yeah, Codley one that seems to be struggling early on, as Neo Verstappen had a position change, and now Isa wants a piece of that cake.
Yeah, and there's dived down the inside line. Sorry, Neil down the inside line of Verstappen. That was the Red Bull. Sent it for an absolute mile back, and now is potentially going to get the run. The Singaporean on the back of the German on the run down toward the World Champion chicane is not going to get the move done. But we saw there Neo also go across the intersection, basically go off track, basically to get off the racing line. He took too much into the curb at the third chicane, so that is why he has had to obviously drop a few positions. Rocco Pease did gain on Verstappen, by the way. Rocco was side by side with Verstappen coming through the end of the first sector. It was a really good move actually by Rocco. He's through his into 10. Medium's obviously going to come online in a few laps time, but Campbell leading the way. Rudy in second, Jensen third. No real change really from the start. Packer there is right on the back of Nathan in the meantime for 5th position. Kumbla, as you mentioned, is into the pit lane after repairing his front wing. Yaron and Dylan are having a private battle at the back of the field as well. Packer on the back of Nathan. Seems like the first battle potentially that could happen out on track as Nathan's just picked up a 3-second penalty, and Packer is going to try and maybe dive it down the inside line into the hairpin here at turn number 10. Tries to go for the move. Nathan's gone too deep though. The up and under from Packer. Tries to get the on the traction. Nathan holds on to the position, but DRS is now enabled.
Yeah, Nathan Addington is huge collection, so you could probably do a 2-hour-long documentary about his penalties this season. Right as he shouted Verstappen, in real life Verstappen spun in the practice session, so you're really a strange person sometimes, James. As we see Peace passing Rocco with ease with the DRS as well.
Now, I've got to say, at least Max Verstappen has obviously spun in the practice session, but we're not here in Miami Vice. It's Campbell that leads the way, Rudy in second, Jensen third, Nathan there in fourth. Jensen made a slight mistake there, coming out of the centre hairpin at turn 2, and Nathan is all over the back of him, around 4/10 of a second and behind. Obviously, he's got that 3-second penalty already added on to his time, and the track limits obviously around this track, as proven there by Dylan, spot on, 3-second penalty picked up. That's coming to the Waller Champion chicane. There's going to be a lot of penalties, I think, here tonight, so drivers have got to be careful careful. They've got to try and minimise that to good effect. Rudy did get close enough actually in towards the Wall of Champion chicane last time round on the back of Campbell. Didn't, though, get the move done. And Rudy, I think, is just going to be settled in behind as Neil's lost position to Izza. May have had to cut across the curb once again. But Rudy, on the back of Campbell, he looks like he's close enough to try and go for the move. But I think Rudy, if I was him, I'd just be sitting and waiting until the pit stops.
Yeah, he can pretty much shadow Campbell for the whole race now. Unless they face traffic, of course. But great shot from Rudy to not let Campbell get away by any bit. To keep the pressure on. Also for his teammate. Obviously, Rudy, the teammate of Justas, so he has to take as much points as he can away from Campbell. He's in a good position to do so right now. As we see, Connor has actually dropped out the DRS train, but he should get it back into it after the first sector. He's got the most tire wear at the moment, but yeah, interesting to see him struggle.
Funky Chicken, by the way, in the comment section saying Newcastle is better than Sunderland. Yep, the two divisions above us, and I can't take that at all because Newcastle is a better team at the minute than Sunderland. Quite simply. We've got a Scotsman in charge, that's probably why. Campbell leads the way, Rudy in second, Jensen third, Nathan in fourth, Packer there in fifth. Nathan again on the back of Jensen was looking quite close, but not quite close enough for the move. He makes a slight mistake actually coming out of the chicane, and now Packer potentially is going to get quite close. I think we saw him move further down the field, by the way. I think Jeroen got the move done on Dylan last lap around to Stooney's into 16th, Dylan there down in 17th, but Campbell obviously holding the lead of this race, and really for the first time just beginning to use up a bit of detection on the DRS, and he is using up that DRS to good effect. He's going to be within a tenth of a second coming in towards the in towards the chicane of the Wall of Champions, but Campbell holds the lead really there in second, and everything is just going to filter through on buys. I believe Connor just within DRS range again. 2 laps ago, obviously he was within DRS range quite comfortably. Now becoming the cork in the bottle, it seems, because he's just losing a bit of slipstream and a bit of time to Packer there in fifth.
Yeah, he's struggling. As I mentioned, he's done so many laps in quality on those tyres, and then the AI did some as well for good measure. But now we see the medium guys catching up slightly. He's obviously got a penalty already, but yeah, he's catching the train. Showing the mediums are coming into it right now, and we probably see the earliest 2 stoppers quite soon darting into the pit lane. Obviously a tricky pit entry. Always I wanted to focus on not getting a penalty and still got one for speeding in the pit, so keep an eye on that.
Marine in the wall!
That was someone in the wall.
Marine in the wall, coming out of the chicane as a safety car. Yeah, he got too much on the
pit lane.
Yeah, he got too much on the outside curb. I saw that. The camera angle panned away from it, but he basically got caught in a spin. Applied too much throttle off the chicane, off the third chicane, and that is why he's ran in the wall, and he's now out of the race. So 1 Haas down. There he is on the left-hand side, or was on the left-hand side there, but he crashed there. And Campbell, Rudy, Jensen, all into the pit lane. Medium compounded tyres. I have a feeling they're not going to get to the end of the race with 29 laps. I do not think they're going to get to the end, so it's going to be 2 stop.
Yes, and Connor didn't want to double stack, question mark?
Possibly, or yeah, I think, or maybe overcut is probably better than the undercut at this stage. Obviously, with the safety car coming out this early on. Connor there in the lead. Jensen's came out in P9, so it's not too bad. But look at how many positions Connor's going to lose compared to what he could have done in a double stack. It probably works out. Same position losses, I would think, if he came in the pit lane this lap.
He must go for a soft medium now. He must have to stay in front of Campbell, Rudy and Jensen until the pit stops. Then he has a chance, but otherwise he's gambling big time. As Kuhnplay puts on a set of hearts. I thought they're forbidden around this track. Unreal. So he's not gonna enjoy them for much. Maybe he's gonna pit back onto mediums next lap. He had to change his nose, so maybe that's his strategy. But we'll see about that. Should see a 2-lap safety car only, really. Should catch up quite quickly. Obviously, that's Martin on this track. And now we see Campbell has the opportunity to put a few cars between himself and Rudy. But at the same time, he has to be careful when making moves not to lose out to the guys behind.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder actually why Rudy didn't want to try and go for the move now. Obviously, with an early safety car coming out, probably will be the it's the first, certainly won't be the last here tonight, I don't think. Connor has had to stay out, of course, on that sort of soft compound tyre. But Rudy there, in 8th position, it makes you wonder why he didn't go for that move in the early stages of this race. Of course, we didn't know it was going to be a safety car. Obviously, Marine crashed out. He didn't know it was going to be a safety car either, which is unfortunate because Marine obviously was showing quite good pace on that set of soft compound tyres in the top half of the field. So unfortunately for the Dutchman, obviously he's down now out of the race. But what is Campbell's approach now to the safety car restart? He's there in 7th. He's got Nuth, Neo, Eza, potentially quicker guys ahead of him on warmer tyres. Kumbla is coming back into the pit lane, so I think we're going to get another lap potentially underneath the safety car here. But what is Campbell's now ploy in the rest of this race? If there's no more safety cars, what would you do if you were in his shoes? Because obviously he's going to have to pit again.
I don't want to be in his shoes right now. It's probably the most uncomfortable position he can be in the circumstances with the championship. He can't risk anything or trying to overtake the other guys. But at the same time, Rudy is right there, right behind him. And if he doesn't, he's going to be under big pressure and under danger to get overtaken by those behind. So he has to be safe, but also keep in mind that the cars behind him could overtake him. And then just do a medium to the end, really. He obviously already did a couple of laps on a set of mediums in qualifying. But it should be an easy medium for him. And probably see the guys around him doing the same.
Yeah, I probably think so. Kumbla, by the way, as I say, came back into the pit lanes. Is going to be at least in the lap underneath the safety car, which means I'm now going to try and cut on board with what has happened. FP3 has just ended, and it's Sergio Perez out on top on a 130.3 set of soft compound tyres for a majority of the field. Charles Leclerc there in second on 30.4, Max Verstappen in third on a 30.6, Fernando Alonso in fourth on a 31 flat, along with Vettel in fifth, Schumacher in sixth, very interesting, all on a 31 flat, Sainz there seventh on a 31.1, Magnussen eighth on a 31.2, Albon in ninth on a 31.5, and Lando Norris in 10th on a 31.5 as well. Esteban Ocon, the only driver not to set an actual lap, or an actual timed lap, out on track, so it looked like he might have had a problem in FP3. Hamilton, by the way, just for Hamilton fans out there, P15 in FP3, so clearly struggling. Russell, 17th, so Hamilton actually outdoing Russell in FP3 there, but qualifying is coming up, obviously, I think, within the next hour.
I think so. Interesting, probably to do some long runs and quali runs. But yes, back to this one. I think we're about to go underway, and you really want to get the tyres up the Thames. Connor probably has the best tyres right now at the restart, but he's going to get caught quite quickly by those hungry medium runners.
Yeah, Jab, by the way, saying in the comment section that Ocon crashed where Sainz did an FP2. Believe that is through turn 8, if I'm not mistaken, that little tricky complex that they have, that we've seen obviously on the hot laps in... Section. Yeah, the F1 2022 section, through that, basically, the second sector. But Connor, now, Virtual Bermalander, back to the racing here, is now the virtual safety car. P's there in second, right on the back of him. He is probably going to be tucked right underneath that rear wing on this safety car restart. You can see the weaving all the way down the straight, trying to get desperate heat into the tyres. And Connor already says go into the wall of champion chicane, and that's where he needed to go, because he has to try now find the pace from somewhere to pull away from P's and maybe latch him out of DRS range with a Campbell on the back of Nuth running down in towards turn 1. So it looks like Mercedes is going to go right down the inside line of the Williams. The Williams is going to hold on, though, the FVR man against the QVR man, side by side through the centre hairpin at turn 2. Campbell's shooting, he's got the pace around the outside. Nice move there by Campbell, puts the car between himself and Rudy. Rudy, you would imagine, though, is going to try and send a move maybe in towards turn number 6. But he's not going to get the move done from that far back, I don't think. And yeah, he has to sit and suffer through the first sector, now through the middle sector. Of course, DRS is not enabled until another 2 laps time after this one. Connor, though, leads the way. P's in second, Verstappen in third. But as you mentioned there, Campbell, very good move, through and he's into 6th. Nuth there in 7th, car between himself and Rudy. Ideal start, as Jensen has just picked up a penalty.
Yep, we see the penalties mounting up right now. Campbell, really important move as Rudy down the inside, risky. But Nuth is such an aware and clean driver. It's insane how he can just manage to always stay out of those kind of incidents. So, yeah, nice move from Rudy, a bit ambitious, and he needed Nuth to work with him there. Jensen also wants to have a piece of this, he says. Tricky situation there into the last corner, and he's backing out. Really close stuff, and I think Jensen has to wait in for a couple of corners more, and Campbell not yet able to get past Neo.
Yeah, nice move there by Rudy. That reminded me a bit like a PSG LF3 battle that I saw between them both. I think it was Zandvoort a couple of weeks ago. Jensen, yeah, gets a phenomenal run out of turn number 2, gets the job done down the inside and towards 3, and Jensen now through, and he's into 8. He's nearly had to cut across the grass though, and Nuth is actually fighting back here. The German on the back of the Brit, and look at the other Brit, Nathan, right on the back of Nuth, down the inside line in towards turn number 5, then through the right hand of turn number 6 on the edge of the exit of the chicane, and Nathan gets the move done. But this now opens up a whole can of worms, because Packer's on the outside line of Nuth now, trying to get the move done. He has to sit and suffer though into the third chicane. Connor leads the way. Oh, and there's a bit of tap I think from Nuth on the back end of Nathan. Nathan got sent across as Campbell has made the move on Neo into the hairpin. Nice move there by Campbell. Packer though getting the move done on Nuth around the outside. Nuth on the inside line. American, and look at the run that Wooter's going to try and get. He tried to get the up and under on both of them, and now the Alfa Romeo's right on the back of the Williams. It's Groundhog Day for Nuth in 11th position, because here comes Wooter. Wooter perhaps could catch Packer before the final corner as well. And Wooter now down on the inside line. Nuth backs out, sensible that, and Wooter now through and he's into 11th. How many moves have we seen though from the guys out on track, as Rudy now is going to make the move on Neo down towards turn 1 and gets the job done for 6th.
I don't know what's happening anymore. It's so chaotic, so many moves. Nuth is getting absolutely bullied. Jensen almost Vetteled it around through the chicane. The V and VSR stands for Vettel apparently. Everything clean though, no front wings were lost. And yeah, we move on. Nuth now just filtered through those fresh set of medium pack, and now Neo is the next one to fall through them.
Yeah, Neo has been put obviously now between himself and Jensen, so, between Rudy and Jensen I should say. He's there in 7th, and perhaps he could be out of 2nd if Jensen is not going to get this move done. And now the German on the back as Nathan has picked up yet another penalty out on track. I think that's the 2nd or his 3rd here tonight so far. Connor though leading the way. It was a bit sketchy out of the chicane there, out of the hairpin, and now Pease is right on the back of him. Surely Connor is going to have to relinquish the lead and go into the pit lane here as Pease flies on by, down in towards turn number 13 and 14, gets the job done. I wouldn't be surprised if Connor comes in the pit lane. He stays out, so he's going long on this sort of soft compound tyre, but now Verstappen eyes up a potential opportunity to the inside line and towards turn number 1. The Dutchman down the inside line on the Brit, and the Brit holds the outside line. He's on the inside line for turn number 2, has to cut across on the curb slightly. Verstappen's pace around the outside gets the job done, as Neo and Jensen have had a crash coming down the straight in towards turn 2.
Yeah, didn't quite see that. Was so easy to do in turn 1, and that's just ruined Jensen's race as well as Neo's, of course. But Jensen in a net podium position now all the way down the field, and now we see he's all over the curves trying to get past Connor, and now the fresh medium runners come in behind. Campbell and Rudy still right behind his rear wing.
Have a feeling with Neo as Verstappen makes a mistake, and so does Connor, and now Izza's on the outside line, so I'll cut back to what I was going to say in a second, as Izza now on the outside line. Connor does not want to give up this lightly. He's on the inside line into the hairpin, and holds a position for now. Izza's going to have a really good run. It's going to let Campbell into play as well, and Connor now has to defend off Izza, really defending. Milton 2 moves already as he now comes down the straight. He's got to be careful, because Campbell needs to try and get a slingshot here. I think Izza's going to go through, and Connor into P3, and Connor dives it into the pit lane. I'm not surprised by that, and Campbell and there's contact between Izza and Campbell. He got slowed up completely, and now Rudy's got an eye up in the opening of opportunity, trying to go around the outside line. Campbell on the inside line now with Izza, tries to get the job done in towards turn 2, and Rudy's got to follow sync through as well. Campbell though through into 3rd. Rudy needs to get this move done now, and he has to sit and suffer in behind Izza for now. But Campbell through he's into 3rd. All of that spawned from a little bit of slowness from Izza on the exit of the final corner.
Yeah, Connor absolutely flew into the pit lane as well, so that probably added to confusion. But yeah, Campbell lucky to not get wing damage there. Really important for his championship charge. And Rudy can't get past yet, but he should still be fine. Maybe send it into the hairpin. Nice, too far away this time. Is he?
Is he?
It's definitely, yeah, you never know. We've already seen once this race. But Campbell now probably has easy work to do ahead with Verstappen, so Rudy is probably going to be in trouble in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, what I was going to say, by the way, about Neo and Jensen's incident is Rudy's now going to absolutely fly on by Izza potentially down the straight here into the final chicane. Is he going to really risk it down into the final chicane? He is into the wall of champion chicane. He picks up a 3-second penalty and he's in the wall. And Izza's in the wall as well and he's out the race. And Rudy just risked that completely. Campbell's going to go side by side with Verstappen. There's a safety car incoming and it is a safety car out on track. Nathan, I think, got through on Rudy there as well. So he's into 4th. Rudy there in 5th. But... that, honestly, I rode on board with that, and I was thinking to myself, what is he doing? Going around the outside, on the inside line, he should have just backed off and then got the run down the straight in towards turn 1. On hindsight, he'll look back on that and think, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Rudy there in 5th has potentially now just landed himself in the steward's office as a result of that incident.
Yeah, and he's landed himself right in the pit lane with that wing damage on the right side, so... potential P2 absolutely down the drain. And yeah, that makes the race a bit awkward actually, with a Packer now in a net P2 if you count penalties. Connor just pitted for a fresh set of mediums. I tell you what, don't count out that man yet. Nathan obviously trying to open his shop with selling penalties soon. He's probably got more penalties than race laps this race. Just look at the race director, Jesus Christ, the boy. But yes, interesting situation right now. If we see anything on pit or not. Probably the guys that started on mediums, but what do they go on to? Surely not hards. P's in.
Has to be soft, surely. Has to be softs. 20 laps on the set of softs aren't going to make it, but he has to go set of softs. Surely. Yeah, set of softs going on for P's. So P's in pit lane, set of soft compound tyre. And he and only a couple of other drivers are actually in. Rudy is in, obviously for front wing change. Wouter is in, and Nuther's in as well. And Nuther's going to the hards. No, he's not. He's going to the softs. That's my eyesight there. Rocco is on a set of softs as well, so they're all going to the softs. By the way, there's the penalties. Nathan's got 6 seconds, Dylan 3, P's 3, Rudy 3, Jensen 3. I was going to say, before I got really interrupted by that battle down the straight, Neo and Jensen's incident, I think potentially Jensen had the inside line in towards turn number 1. Neil left him short of room, or Jensen just dived it down the inside line. One of the two things has happened. Jensen behind Neil, I think he let him back through. He obviously had to repair his front wing, but Jensen there 16th, Neil in 15th. If the stewards look into that, they'll probably see that Jensen might have been at fault. He's the guy behind Neo. Maybe no further action in terms of that.
Yeah, we have to see what the stewards do in this situation. Good call from someone in the comment section that the soft runners might go directly back onto mediums.
Yeah.
Right now. And then we have an interesting situation with Campbell, Nathan, Packer, whatever. They're going to be on oldest and worst tyres of everyone. Can they keep the lead, or will the fresh tyres prevail?
Well, we saw with China and Campbell and Verstappen, and it was the other driver. Was it Nathan? First, second, third? Or was it Neo? Somebody.
Connor was third.
Connor.
I think. Yeah.
There were certainly 3 drivers.
Justus.
Yeah, there were certainly 3 drivers who said it was Justus, yeah. It was, but obviously that was wet compound tyre, basically. Oh, there is a driver coming in the pit lane. Nuther's in, Rudy in, Neo in.
Exactly doing that.
Yeah.
Good call in the comment section from, I think that was,
Jav.
Jav, yeah. For once he made a good call in his life. Good stuff.
Nuther's back in.
On 6 lap old mediums. Thanks.
And Jensen's on 3 lap old mediums, but yeah, Rocco's on 6 lap old mediums. Kuhn Bly, by the way, he came out of the pit lane on 2 lap old mediums, but he's then since, I think, gone onto another set of tyres in 8th position. I'm tempted to say he's there on 11 lap old mediums. No, actually, that will make sense because, yeah, 11 lap old mediums, so he's obviously came in, what, lap 5, lap 6, just before the safety car came in. But Campbell leads the way, Verstappen there in 2nd, Nathan there in 3rd. Jav's saying that looks so weird with another F1 name. It does look weird with another F1 name for sure, but Campbell leading the way. We're halfway through here in Canada. Hopefully we're going to be starting on time in terms of the Miami qualifying. But obviously we'll try and get the interviews done as quickly as possible before qualifying starts. I believe it's 8 o'clock UK time, if I'm not mistaken, as well. But safety car is going to be coming in this lap, so Campbell, not for the first time this season, is going to be the virtual thermometer. He's going to be the virtual safety car. Surely he just uses it for Verstappen up to good effect in behind and hold up Nathan, hold up Packer, hold up Killer Blue, and it's Campbell's race for the win.
Yes, Verstappen is now Perez, pretty much. So we'll see how long he can keep them behind, and if Nathan is just going to cut some corners to get past, but we'll see about that. Campbell probably thinking about going early, could go right now when the safety car is in the pits. I think he's going to trump any time now.
Yeah, RM Sim, by the way, is saying 20 past 7 UK time. It is 20 past 7 UK time. Thank you for telling me the time. As Jensen has dropped down the field, Jensen has spun! Jensen spun on the safety car. He's got front wing damage, I think, has he? That was weird.
Under the safety car, I don't know. But he seems to carry on at least. As Peace gets another penalty. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say we're back underway. I was totally caught off guard by Jensen spinning underneath the safety car, but Campbell leads the way. Verstappen there in second, Nathan third. Nothing's changed. Pease, as you were mentioning, on the back of Koen Bly, and look at this run coming now on the outside line in towards turn number 3. Should he going to get the job done? Beautiful move by Pease on that sort of softs. He's soon he's into 8th. How much progress though can he now make through the field? Koen Bly there in 9th. Connor, I thought was going to go for a cheeky lunge on the back of Koen Bly. Doesn't go for the move there. Pease is so much quicker than everyone else. He's on the back of Dylan. Should be easy to dispose, you would imagine, on the hill, up the hill and towards the hairpin, but Campbell holds the lead. Verstappen in second, Nathan third. Reuter and Rudy are having another fight, and Rudy has to cut across the intersection there through the chicane, and now Pease are going to dive it down the inside line into the Pingle hairpin, and Koen Bly on the outside line has to try, Dylan on the outside line has to try and fight this, but Pease through, and he's into 7th. Nice move there by Pease. Dylan there in 8th, and now obviously Reuter ahead of Nuth, and Nuth is trying to hunt him down, and it's a bit like deja vu between these two again.
Yeah, Rudy definitely going to be a bit more cautious in the last chicane right now.
He's Nathan.
But his race still not over. Nathan trying to get past Verstappen.
Oh no!
Oh, squeezing him like a lemon, but he can't quite do it. We saw the outside was quite good in turn 2 this race with the better tyres. Yeah, and he gets the traction once again. But you're not going to go side by side here, surely.
And he does, and he gets the move done.
Right.
Beautiful move. I think Verstappen might have just backed off that move into P3 there, but Nathan through and he's into second. Verstappen's done an awesome job though. It's 2 seconds the gap. Is it enough though to try and keep the gap out to Nathan? Time will tell here in the race. Pease on the back of your own, looking all over the back. Pease is looking so much quicker than everyone in front of him, but he's got drivers potentially that are going to be coming in the pit lane. Pease, I'm not ruling this out. He could try and get to the end of the race, but the tyres are going to be absolutely shot as Packer sends one down the inside line of Verstappen. Pease has gone for an absolute move around the outside as well into the Pingle hairpin, but Packer and Verstappen are side by side in the meantime. Pease and Yerone are side by side, and Yerone is just going to have the drag, I think, down into the Wall of Champion chicane. Packer's going to get the move done on Verstappen. Pease is not going to think about going around the outside here. He's trying to drain all the battery to go around the outside, and he gets chopped up by there, Yerone, and Yerone there in second. Pease nearly in the wall. Pease nearly in the wall. What a recovery out the wall there. How on earth he's kept that car in a straight line, I do not know. Reuter and Connor, by the way, nearly going side by side just in behind. And speaking of side by side, I think Jensen was going on the move for Rocco. Doesn't get the move done there, but Campbell leads the way. Nathan there in second, Paquin third. Really good racing by everyone. Pease made Dylan work for it. Gets the job done, obviously, into 7. Connor as well into 10. Nice moves by all. And obviously Nathan ahead of Packer as well in all of that. And we're going to see probably more moves as we go along.
Yeah, it's really hectic stuff at the moment. The tyre wear makes such a difference in terms of performance. Not puncture territory anyways, but at least Verstappen is so much slower than everyone else. But yeah, they are quite nice. Then Peace is going to probably send it once again into the hairpin on Jerome.
He is down the inside line. Oh, nearly gets chopped up there by Killer Blue going slow in front of him. Pease, though, beautiful move. Round the outside, well, on the inside line, on the outside on the exit, and Pease gets the job done through, and he's in 2-6. Pease is absolutely flying. Rudy and Reuter are side by side.
No,
not another deja vu. Connor's going to go side by side with Koen Bly just in front of this as well. 2x2 doesn't work. We've already seen it. Rudy backs out. Reuter picks up a penalty. Somehow they get away with it, and Nuth now gets the job done. Rocco's going to go side by side with Rudy, and Rudy's just set up a load of free positions there as he actually dives around the outside line, down the inside into turn 2 at the centre hairpin. How's he made that one stick? Beautiful move. He's back into 13th. Negative in for positive. He's through and he's into 13th. That's probably one of the best moves I think I've seen all season from Rudy. That was insane.
Yeah, awesome stuff. He's so much pace, and he's an exciting driver at the moment, but a bit controversial, a bit aggressive maybe, but then he pulls off moves like that, and Peace
there we go again.
thinking about Killer Blue in the hairpin probably, saying he wants a piece of that.
No! There's decent contact between them both! Nuth and Rudy! Rudy in the wall! Bit of decent contact, there was hardly anything in that.
Oh, Verstappen! Oh, Killer Blue launched a missile on Verstappen in the hairpin. Oh, what was that?
I didn't even see that. What happened? Pease is on the back of Killer Blue though in the meantime. Killablu there in 4th, Peas and Verstappen in 6th. Where is this race suddenly gone? This is unbelievable. Killablu 4th, Peas in 5th. We can catch our breath for now, at least. Connor's going to be on the back of Dylan, I think, then towards turn 1 as well. Jeroen catching Verstappen quite quick, pulls the outside line, Verstappen lets him through. So Jeroen through and he's into 7th, or 6th I should say. Verstappen there down into 7th, but Campbell leads the way. Nathan 2nd, Packer in 3rd, Killablu in 4th. Where is this race suddenly gone? Rudy has retired. Was that in the pit lane, I think he retired?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I've never in my life seen Killablu send one into a hairpin. He braked at like 30 meters. And Verstappen probably had a half heart attack in that chicane, that hairpin as well. Peace just having a bit of that as well. Now he's gonna try his overtaking show into the hairpin once more, I think.
RM Sim Racing, by the way, saying as Melty race. I believe he hasn't, if I'm not mistaken.
Luckily not.
Yeah, I think he's Division 5, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So that's up at 10 past 8 UK time. Races are still going ahead, by the way, later on Division 2 and Division 5, even with qualifying going on. Peas on the back of Killablu, though. This is going to be the easiest move you'll see all night from them, as Peas now on the outside line, down the straight into turn number 13, gets the job done. He's through, he's into 4th, and Dylan's going side by side with Verstappen, but Verstappen comes into the pit lane, and look at Connor's run. Connor's got a phenomenal run on the back of Dylan. Down towards turn number 1, Packer was nearly going side by side with Nathan just in front of the action as well, and Connor sends it down the inside line. Somehow there's an AlphaTauri gap, and Dylan drowned.
Yeah, but Dylan squeezed him a lot there, not gonna lie, not biased here, but yeah, probably just unfortunate with the curve as well on the outside. Verstappen almost caught out Dylan into the last chicane, and Dylan was a bit confused, then Connor backed up as well. But yeah, no damage done really, I think. And I think Dylan also got away without damage, if I'm seeing correctly.
Yep, think I have. Yeah, Dylan 14, yeah, he doesn't look like he's got any damage at all. Jensen, Nuth, Rocco potentially the next battle. Peter's got so much pace though. He's on the back of Packer and Nathan already. 8 tenths per second back. Nutho's going to go for a move potentially on Rocco into the hairpin. No, backs off. Luckily for him, backs off and doesn't want to get the move done there, which I think is smart from move in terms of his driving. Packer trying to hunt down Nathan as well for second. Nathan's the one really struggling, but he's keeping those tyres alive, which is good for him. Jeroen on the back of Killablu as well, down into the chicane, into World Champion chicane. Doesn't get the move done there, but on the run down towards turn 1 he might, because Killablu's low on ERS as now Jeroen pulls the outside line in towards turn number 1. Killablu's still there on the inside line though, tries to find out the move, and Jeroen, shit, he's going to get this one done. He gets the job done. He's through, he's into 5th. Lovely move that by Jeroen on Killablu. Nice fair fight. That's what we like to see. Jeroen through, he's into 5th.
Yeah, and none of the medium runners with the fresh mediums really made a big impact yet. Connor and Root are the ones highest up on the field. As Peace gets another penalty, just cutting that chicane. It's a bit unnecessary and painful, but Campbell just controlling the gap easily. Nathan not even having a battery at the moment. And Packer probably needs to get past and increase the pace a bit.
Yeah, he definitely does. Peas on the back of Packer up the hill and towards the hairpin. Not going to get the move done. He's low on battery as well. About 10% he's got in towards the hairpin. 15% on the exit, actually. But there are the penalties. Nathan's got 6 seconds. Peas has got 9 seconds. So Peas, I think, is going to try and become the talk show broadcast, I think, around here in Canada with the penalties. Maybe penalty Peas, can we call it? I don't know. Or penalty Peas podcast? I don't know. Campbell leads the way. Nathan second, Packer in 3rd. We'll come up with a name in the meantime. Packer's on the back of Nathan in towards turn number 1. Not going to get the move done. He is very high on battery though. 45% compared to Nathan, just under 10%. So Packer's got around 4 times the amount of ERS at this stage. To run through the penalties, by the way, as I was saying, Nathan 6 seconds, Peas on 9, Rooter on 3, Jensen on 6, and Dylan on 3. Those are the penalties so far. I'm actually quite shocked, actually, that we haven't had more penalties by drivers out on track, as I believe Jensen was fighting with Kuhn Bly just in the background of shot there through 10 and in P10 and P11. Jensen not going to get the move done, is he? Or potentially he could, down into the chicane. Here comes the brakes on the back of the Dutchman. There could be a move here for Jensen. And he backs off, and Jensen does not have the battery to try and go through for the move.
Yeah, Nathan and Peace taking all the warnings away from the other drivers to get, so not many people got penalties, but they got quite severe ones. No moves this lap round. I think Peace is now finally dropping off, and probably we'll see him pit soon for another set of softs to go to the end, and he probably can do some damage with that later on in the race. Jensen now should have the move. No battery left though. Oh my god, It's Grondo Day, isn't it? Oh,
No!
he's gone. Yeah, Kuhn doesn't have any of that. Why? Why?
Yeah. Deja vu from what we saw with Rudy earlier on. Jensen round. Wouldn't be surprised if he retires actually the car in the pit lane. He's got the car back going again, which is good to see. But that has cost him a lot of time, down in 15th position at this moment in time. Late safety car though, could try and change things. Maybe we'll get one if anybody decides to obviously either crash it out on track or obviously just have a bit of a front wing knock, and obviously you can get the deployed safety car for a full front wing here in LOE. Connor, by the way, on the back of Killer Blue was looking quite interesting. 6th and 7th at this moment in time. The AlphaTauri on the back of the Aston Martin, and the Aston Martin currently doing, I've got to say, a really good job. And if you had these guys, by the way, for your top 3, well done, because I don't think any of us could have predicted this top 3 at the minute.
And it could still change. Connor now absolutely squeezing the battery.
Oh,
Killer Blue
easy.
trying to fight it off. Oh no, not again.
Easy.
Yeah, but Killer Blue is probably going to need a bit more space, and he resigns to that position. Connor, picking up the penalty though as a result of going into that chicane with such a tight angle. So yeah, another one with a penalty, and Killer Blue with a really tactical maneuver in that case.
Yeah, definitely so. Connor Throoney's into 6th, Killer Blue there down into 7th. Woots now on the back of these guys as well. Another battle beginning to form up. Rocco, Kumbly, Neil and Nuth. These are all for the plum points positions at the back of the field. 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. So 4, 3, 2 and 1 point up for grabs here for that battle. Packer though still looks all over the back of Nathan. It's just a matter of when, not if, I think, for the move here for the American. He's on the back of Nathan. He has to try and get the move done because Pease now, he's lost all ability on those tyres. He's got to be reliant, I think, on your own Connor in behind, potentially battling out, but they've got to get him within the DRS range, and I think they're just within the DRS range actually coming out of the hairpin. So your own and Connor have now latched onto that queue, bringing to that Killer Blue and Rooter. Pease may be in a deep shock of trouble. Packer, I think, has got to go for the move now and put a little bit of pressure on, as Connor is going to get the move done on your own down the straight. And Wheater might follow through and Killer Blue, but he doesn't. Packer's got a really good run out on Nathan, so he might actually be listening. The American gets the job done into turn number 1. So so Packer through needs into 2nd. Nathan there down to 3rd, and Packer, I think, might be listening to the stream and gets the job done.
Yeah, Packer crucially has so much more battery than Campbell ahead. So I wouldn't say this one is over. Oh, as he cuts the corner slightly. We've got yellows in second one, that's the Nuth round. Once again, having issues tonight. But yeah, don't count Packer out of this race win yet. As we see Connor's tyres come alive. And Pease and Nathan dropping off severely soon.
Yeah, Pease definitely dropping off, I've got to say, in terms of the tyres. 12 up all tyres. I would say around about 50-60% range. We see a lot of penalties actually being picked up there. Jerome picked up a penalty, and I think Pease also picked up another. Yes, he did. 12 seconds. Nathan, 9 seconds as well. Woods has got to try and send one on Killer Blue into the hairpin. Doesn't get the job done. Verstappen, by the way, he's through and he's into 13. Do not discount him for a potential point-scoring finish here tonight either. But he has got penalties, and that's going to come back to bite him on the bum cheek, I would think, as Campbell leads the way. Packer there in 2nd. Nathan there in 3rd. Pease in 4th. Connor there in 5th, and actually Pease is into the pit lane. So Pease into the pit from 4th position on the grid. Now into the pit lane is potentially going to be out of the points as when he comes out the pits, as Root is on the back of Killer Blue, not close enough though, and towards turn 1.
Yeah, he should have gone earlier to the softs, to be honest. But look at Packer, he's just gaining a free 10th.5 on the straight because Campbell is derating. So, and with that, he's bringing all the pack behind him, the Hungry Wolves, with him. Killer Blue has to stick within the DRS, and if he doesn't, he's going to be under big pressure from Wood to look rapid as well tonight.
Pease out of the pit lane, by the way, in 14th position, so he's lost even time now to Verstappen and Dillon. Earlier pit stop, possibly, has just cost him a really good point-scoring position out on track here tonight. The group, by the way, the Rocco group, has now split up entirely. Nuth is struggling on those tyres. Neil was all over the back of Kumbly. In the meantime, possibly going to be a move going here, I'd say down towards the wall of Champion Chicane, but they might just be unable to just use up each other to try and stay in behind for now. One move that is going to happen though is Rooter on the back of Killer Blue, going to saunter on by down the straight, going to get the job done, and he's through, and he's into 6th. The Rooter's through and he's into 6th. Nathan though, keeping tabs to Packer. Packer's gained 0.3 of a second this lap around, and compared to Nathan in behind, Nathan is keeping up. Nathan has got pace, he's now following the driver in behind, using limited battery as well. Nathan's still got a potential chance, actually, of picking up, I would say, good top 5, even a good top 10 finish here.
Yeah, but just look at the penalties he's collected. So if there's a bunch up and they lose time to the cars, the group behind with Rocco and stuff, he's gonna be in a bit of trouble. So he can't afford any more penalties. But on the straight, just have a look at the delta at the end of the straight between Campbell and Packer. Just coming down so much just due to Campbell squeezing his battery like there's no tomorrow. And he's probably resigned to not filling up the battery anymore until the end of the race. So he needs to keep that DRS gap, otherwise he's going to be in big trouble.
Yeah, I thought it was raining, by the way, out on track. I thought little still drops of rain coming down on the screen. It's not. Don't worry, it's my eyesight once again. Campbell leads the way, Packer second, Nathan third. I think even if we got rain at this part of the race, there would not be any chance of it to actually impact on the track, because it has to take a good 3-4 laps, actually, for the rain to come down. Then you're on the final lap, and it's worthless going onto a set of intermediate compounded tyres by then. Back to the field, though. That Rocco Kumblai-Neal battle beginning to rear its head once again as Kumblai's just picked up a penalty. They were quite close, though, in towards the wall of champion chicane with the DRS enabled. Rocco there in 8th, Kumblai in 9th, Neal in 10th, Nuth there in 11th. Verstappen, his tyres are not really going the pace now compared to the medium runners in front of him. Connor, though, is all over the back of Nathan. In towards turn number 6, tries to get the job done. Doesn't, and the AlphaTauri sitting in behind on the Red Bull for now, and Connor's actually looking good potentially here for second position.
Yeah, or at least third with this penalty considered. Should be quite safe with that. But
yeah.
if you can maybe remove a warning or something, don't count him out.
He's going to go for the move.
Yeah, he's going to send it. Come on, my man. Yes,
that's a
the
late
boy.
send.
Oh, good stuff. Nathan now with the traction on the outside. But Nathan has got no DRS to defend this with, so Connor should get this one quite easily.
Look at the speed difference.
Yeah,
oh, he's going to get so close to back of Packer.
Be in the way. Oh.
Into P3 he goes low. Connor Stooney's into P3. They're not too far off Campbell either. Packer needs to use up a bit of that pace to good effect. But Connor now possibly going to be the man to watch out for. He's on much fresher tyres compared to these mediums around him. 7 lap fresher tyres. That 7 laps might equate to something like 20 to 25% better tyre wear at this stage in the race. So that means Connor has to use that up. He has to go for the move on Packer. Where does he go for the move though? Surely I would think it's going to be into the hairpin.
Into the hairpin, then he also gets the DRS onto the straight. Actually, both straights, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, he will then catch up to Campbell, and then let's see what he can do. Probably a hard task to pull out the 3-second gap, but if the others start fighting, I don't think it's impossible, but certainly needs 25 points if he wants to stay in his championship.
Yeah, he's not close enough to the back. Oh, goodness me!
Oh
Closing right on the back, actually, into the hairpin. And Connor now has got to use up this battery to good effect, because Packer's got no DRS in front of him. This should be an easy move if Connor wants to go for it. And look at the straight line speed. This is easy. Connor saunters on by. To second position he goes. Packer there in third. And Connor now sets his sights on Campbell. This is still not out of the question for a race win yet for Connor. He gets onto the back of Campbell. Uses up that battery to good effect, gets her in the DRS. Campbell's only got 8% battery. Connor's on the same amount of battery as him. This is going to be a thrilling ending to this race, and now Connor's put himself in a really good perspective. If Packer's tyres now completely off, and he loses 3 seconds to Connor, Connor's in that P2.
Yeah, don't count this out, and the others can get penalties as well, don't forget that. Campbell and Packer on one tyres, just turn in a bit too early or too late, and got yourself a warning.
Oh, look at Wouter.
Make them with this lap.
Wouter on the back of your own, running down the straight. Not going to get the job done. That was a beautiful exit, though, that Wouter actually got on the back of your own. Didn't get the move done there. And Campbell holding the lead. Connor there in second, Packer there in third. Wouter on the back of your own, not close enough. But Connor is within DRS range of Campbell.
He is, but he's probably going to recharge and try to force Campbell into a penalty. That's the only way he can take the win here. And Packer obviously also just lingering in behind, saving their battery up a little bit, as Nathan is going to be in big trouble from Jerome and Ruth and his penalty collection.
He definitely will. You're on the back of Nathan nearly into the wall out the final corner now. Wooter's got a really good run actually on the back of your own. Possibly going to go for the moving towards turn number 1. This is going to get ugly quite quickly, you would imagine. But hopefully everyone's kept clean out on track. Nuth, Verstappen, Neo, all in that battle. Verstappen, by the way, got Nuth. If we didn't mention that, he's Stoney's into 10th. Nuth there in 11, Pease there in 12th. They're all fighting out for the final positions. As now Pease tries to go all the way around the outside of Kuhnblai. Coming out of turn number 2, and he gets the job done round the outside. This will be brilliant, and he does get the job done. Pease is Stoney into 11. Much fresher tyres. He's on potentially for a good point scoring finish. Jeroen and Wooter are now going side by side, and there's a bit of wheel-to-wheel contact between them both as well. And Jeroen stays 5th. Wooter there in 6th. Connor's all over the back of Campbell. Game on for the race lead.
Packer got a penalty, so Campbell, the only one without one from the top guys, but he's only on 1 warning, so something has to go wrongly for him in order to lose that race win. So he's not going to risk too much. Connor can actually breeze past him without him using ERS. And now just like a Packer, he's sniffing a chance at this. And if he and Campbell battle a little bit, maybe, but Campbell just plays it so safe. Look at him in the last chicane. He's not risking any bit of this. And that's going to be a really safest race win if he can keep that one.
Neo's having a really good battle with Neo down inside. Neo and Rocco, I should say. Not Neo and himself. Neo and Rocco having a good battle, and now Pease is led into the fight as well. Pease on the outside line. In towards turn number 1 for the inside. Gets the job done. And he's into 9th. Neo got through there into 8th as well. Connor's pace, though. He's now a second clear of Campbell. He's flying away on these the fresher medium compounded tyres. Campbell there in 2nd. There's no way, unless he picks up a puncture, that Campbell is going to lose this race, it seems, because Connor there has driven an awesome job. He's going to be picking up that P2. Killer Blue potentially could be picking up a P4 finish here tonight as well. But Connor's done an awesome job. He waited for the move to happen. Move happened, and he now pulls away from Campbell in toward the Pingle hairpin for the final time. On the run in toward the Pingle hairpin as well. Pease is fighting side by side with Neo. They nearly make contact, and the Alpine now in clear air. Down the inside line into the hairpin. Tries to get the job done. And does get the job done. Nice move there by Pease. He's into 8th. He'll pick up the DRS as well. Connor ran the final corner, though, on the run to the line. Is going to pick up the win in Canada. And Campbell, though, on penalties, is going to win. Campbell wins here in Canada from Connor there in 2nd. Packer in 3rd. Watch out for Killer Blue, though. Killer Blue crossed the line, finishes 6th in the end, and he was a little bit off in terms of the final couple of laps. Nuth and Verstappen are going to have a drag race to the line as well, and behind, plenty of position changes. Nathan's all the way down in 11th position because of his penalties. He's nearly outside the points. Kuhnblai there in 12th. Pease is down in 13th. He's completely outside of the points, even though he finished, I think, 7th, coming across the line there from Pease's perspective. Done across the line in 14th. They're now waiting on VSR Jensen to come across the line, finishing 15th. Not the debut sort of race he would have been hoping for the VSR team, but Jensen now on the run to the line, and he didn't steal the fastest lap either, so Jensen to the line finishes in 15th position, probably in car number 15 as well. Oh, Nuth picks up driver of the day vote by the in-game fans, but Connor obviously took the win out on track but without the penalties. Campbell is your race winner here tonight, and Campbell extends that championship lead to more than a race wins distance between himself and Justas. He looks consummate tonight. Really astute performance. Probably going to be driver of the day again.
Yeah, flawless performance. Trust the strategy to perfection, pretty much. Connor, I don't know, just looking at warnings. Now, even if he's getting one removed, he can't get that win back. Nathan dropping hard at an M Shorts LOE career after the finish line. So Nathan with the penalties dropping him back, and Packer, great performance from him as well. As well as Wooter, don't underestimate that. Went P3 and 4.
Jensen, by the way, picked up the fastest lap point in 15th position. I was wondering why we didn't see the fastest lap in the top 14, but Jensen did pick up that fastest lap point. I was just checking on that. But Campbell, from not a Grand Slam, but pole position, and the race win, obviously, out on track. Fantastic win, and the Scotsman now extends the championship lead. Connor now in 2nd. Exactly what they wanted to do, both of them. 1st and 2nd. Now closing on Justas. It's going to be a thrilling final 2 races, that's for sure. Packer there in 3rd. Wooter in 4th. Jeroen in 5th. Killer Blue in 6th. Neo in 7th. Rocco in 8th. Nuth there in 9th. Verstappen ran off the top 10. Then it's Nathan and Kuhnblai ran off the points. Pease, Dylan, Jensen all finishing. Rudy, Asa and Marine all out of the session. Shall we try and get the top 3 in?
Yes, indeed. I'm gonna try to get the top 3 in. maybe you have to help me with Packer. I don't know if you have him.
I think I've got Paco on my friends list, so I can invite him in if you can't add him in, which would be decent. But yeah, Campbell taking the win there once again, and the Scotsman looked really, really just dominant once again. It was one of those performances what makes you look and think, has he got now one hand on that championship?
He's got 1.5 hands, I would say, because even if Eustace performs big time now, almost impossible for him to climb that huge gap back. Just 2 races to go, isn't it?
Yeah, there's only 2 races to go, definitely. But yeah, brilliant racing, obviously, from Campbell's perspective. Taking the race win, of course, out on track. Hopefully we'll be able to speak to Campbell as well as all of our top 3, of course. Connor in 2nd and finishing in 3rd. Have to remind me, who finished in 3rd was Packer, wasn't it? Who finished in 3rd, the American, who has just literally joined the party as well. We're just waiting on the other guys, of course, to join. But Packer obviously joining there in P3. We've got around 15 minutes until Miami qualifying, by the way. So, I'm going to try and rattle through these interviews as quick as possible so you guys can watch, of course, the action. And, of course, all of our viewers can watch that action as well. But Campbell taking the race win once again. And I've used this word so many times this season. Dominant. I think that sums up your race.
Yeah, yeah, I'm just very happy with that race, to be honest. I don't think it could have gone better, knowing Eustace isn't attending, so... Yeah, perfect, honestly. Not much went wrong.
Not much went wrong, and you controlled that, obviously, from that second safety car restart. You controlled the race throughout. Talk us through the amount of pressure that got applied to you in the final couple of laps, because Packer was there, Nathan was there, all applying a bit of pressure. It just seemed like you brushed them off completely and were pretty much 2 seconds away throughout that final stint.
Yeah, the pressure was slowly piling up. With Nathan leading, I was quite comfortable because he had pens, so I didn't mind if he got close. And when Packer got through, a bit more panic set in, because obviously he's got no pens at the time, so it was like, let's try to keep him out DRS. And at the end, when Connor got through, I expected him to get through easily, because I knew he stopped a lot later, and the tyre difference is mad around that track, so... yeah, I mean, I'm not complaining. I did what I needed to do, and very happy.
Yeah, did what you needed to do, and obviously gained in terms of the championship with Eustace's non-appearance, of course, here tonight. I believe the gap has now extended out to 26 points. You're on 202 points in the championship, 176 obviously for Eustace. Going into the final 2 rounds now of the championship, both in Brazil and Abu Dhabi, is that pressure now off for you, or do you still have to try and work out a way to try and beat both of them in behind?
I don't want to say. I think next week I need a point and it's over. I'm not too sure. I'm not. Don't quote me on it, but this race meant a lot because I needed a big result with him not attending. So yeah, if any pressure was on the last 3 races, this was it. But yeah, a lot of pressure's lifted now. I can maybe enjoy the next 2 weeks with a bit less pressure. But obviously, anything can happen. I mean, it might sound simple, but anything can happen. I could score no points in the next 2, and God knows what happens then. So I don't want to think of it. So yeah, take it race at a time still.
Yeah, that's Formula 1 for you. If nothing happens in Formula 1, it'd just be a very boring sport, to be honest. But Montana, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
Yeah, first of all, congrats. Second of all, I have to remind you and keep you ready to bottle those last 2 races. But that'll be the biggest bottle of LOE history. I don't think you can pull that off. How comfortable are you around Brazil and Abu Dhabi again?
I quite like Brazil. Well, Brazil, I like for as much as the pad track, you know. I mean, you must know yourself, it's...
Yes.
You can only enjoy a track like that so much. But Abu Dhabi, yeah, I look forward to that. Having not raced it last season, I usually go quite well there, along with a couple of tracks we've had this season, so I look forward to both the remaining races. Just try and enjoy myself now, with a lot of pressure's off, I think.
Yeah, I think there's only left to wish you the best of luck for the last 2 races, and just keep in mind that you shouldn't bottle that one, right?
Noted.
Alright, love you.
Love you too.
And of course, Campbell can go and enjoy his evening as well. We'll now move on to the man who finished in P2, and of course that was Connor. And Connor, again, really good drive from your perspective, considering you had to go out, obviously, and not double stack in that first safety car. P2 finish for you, I think you'd be very happy with that.
Yeah, pretty good considering qualifying. Big bottle there. only valid soft lap was the last one, which wasn't a great lap. But the start of the race was not good. The safety car timing wasn't really great because if I pitted, I'd lose positions. If I stay out, I lose positions. So just decided to stay out and have a bit of a tyre delta in case anything happens. But in the train, it was pretty hard to overtake because I didn't want to get any warnings. But then I got 2 in one lap in my in lap, and then 1 overtaking Killaboo, I think it was. So then it was just try and maximise race time. Yeah, go from there. But congrats to Campbell for not getting a penalty round there. I was all over the place. There wasn't many that didn't get a penalty there.
Yeah, phenomenal drive though, obviously, from your perspective, finishing in P2. You obviously now latch on to that championship battle going into the final 2 races of the season. As Campbell alluded to there, I think he only needs a point over Justas, but what is your aim? Obviously, final 2 races of the season, you're still, I think, within the mathematical chance of winning the title. Is there anything in the playbook to try and obviously stop Campbell next week in Brazil?
Oh no, there's nothing I can do. I've been out of the championship for a long time. Too many mistakes earlier in the season, but aim is to win the last 2 races, same as it is to win every race, but that doesn't really go to plan very often. But yeah, just try and have fun at Brazil. I quite like that track. Try and survive Abu Dhabi, which I'm not really a fan of. I've only done that once, and that was the pre-season race at the start of the game, and yeah, can't say I've missed that track.
Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to stop the game at least for Abu Dhabi and get into the session at least around this time. Montana though, any questions?
Yeah, congrats again on a really ballsy strategy that was staying out. Initially, were you trying to 2-stop, or was it 1-stop always to plan?
I was thinking about it after my quali position because I saw that it was just going to be a DRS train, so I was just saving the battery up and trying to save the tyres, and then the safety car came out before I could pit, so I knew I had to do something different to try and get a good result. But I guess second's alright considering where I started, but obviously I was aiming to win. The pace was pretty decent, but I couldn't really show it because I was in traffic like the whole race apart from the last 2 laps, so yeah, pretty happy with it. I can be sort of satisfied, but obviously I was looking for the win, but it happens when you bottle quali.
Yeah, but nonetheless, a great result and probably cements your P3 in the championship, which is not too bad either. And I wish you the best of luck for the next races. Maybe we can do some sweating for those.
Yeah, maybe. See what happens.
Yeah, go and enjoy your evening, Connor.
Yep, cheers. You too. Bye.
You're very welcome indeed. And we'll now move on to the man who finished in P3, and it was Packer. And Packer, you had the pace tonight. You only needed to hop over the border, obviously, from America to race in Canada. Talk us through it, because that was your best race of the season by an absolute mile.
Yeah, I guess you could say it's sort of a home track, the closest circuit to me on the Formula 1 calendar. So not necessarily in the same country, but still the closest. And I've always gone quite well around Canada, and I was enjoying it going into this race and was able to secure that podium. So very nice.
Yeah, very good podium, I've got to say, from your perspective. Talk us through that second safety car, because obviously you were in, I think it was 3rd or 4th position underneath that second safety car. Talk us through that, because obviously Campbell and Connor were so quick. Were you at any point thinking that you were going to actually win that race?
I didn't really think I was going to have a shot at winning, especially during the second safety car, because it was Campbell and Verstappen. I knew that the games that they liked to, well, not necessarily games, but you're as a good wingman, I guess you could say, for Lewis, especially this season. And it was going to be difficult for me and Nathan to get through on him. And then eventually when we did, the gap was already 3 seconds. So it was kind of difficult to claw back, and obviously just wanting to keep it warning-free, pen-free. I did until the penultimate lap. Could have had second, but it's still fine. I'll take first podium in the season. I feel like I should have had a few more, but still, that first podium, get over the hump, you know.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, you finished 5th, I think, one time this season. I think it was Belgium. You finished 5th in, so obviously a big improvement, obviously, on that result. Montana, though, any questions?
Well, first of all, congrats. That was an amazing performance in Division 1. Was it that track that suited you quite a lot because of the wheel, or is it just a general thing on this track?
I'm quite track dependent. I'm sure you could have seen that from a few of the other
Yes.
races. I think the last 3 races I finished like last or was running last for 30 plus laps. So, yeah, Hungary, I think it was China and Russia. Don't necessarily sue me, but I'm really strong around tracks. Like as you mentioned, Australia, I qualified I think 3rd. Belgium, I was in the podium fight, and then here in Canada, didn't have the greatest of qualifyings. I'm invalidated on my final run, but was still started 5th, and then just avoided incidents and avoided penalties until that final lap. So, yeah, it was very nice and just, yeah, I guess kind of track dependent.
Also, just from you, were you trying to 2-stop or was it 1-stop all the way?
The plan was to 1-stop. I was actually going to come in, I think, on lap 6 when the safety car came out, just to get a slight undercut on Jensen and Nathan, but eventually the safety car came out on that lap and it just kind of solidified that 1-stop for me because the tires were going to go to the end either way. So
Alright, congrats once again. An awesome result, and hopefully we'll see more of you next week.
no.
It's Brazil.
I'm
How do
hoping
you
for
think you're
50
going to get on
points.
around there if you're racing?
Well, I should be racing hopefully, and then Brazil and Abu Dhabi not exactly high up on the list of my favorite tracks. So I'm 4 points off of 50, so I'm gonna kind of take the Rocco strat, just hope for 50 points before the end of the season, and see what we can do.
Yeah, certainly made, I think, that goal. Big possibility, obviously, after that podium here tonight. Go and enjoy evening, though. Or go and enjoy afternoon, I should say.
Yeah, thank you.
Very welcome indeed. By the way, if you're wanting qualifying coming up for the Miami Grand Prix, red flag in the W Series race around there. Alice Powell had a crash into the wall. She's finding out the car and everything like that. But it's a delayed qualifying for Miami Grand Prix, which means you guys, yes, you 2 people that are watching this stream currently, you can go and watch, of course, Division 2 and Division 5 while the W Series race, of course, goes on. And, of course, it is 8:10 UK time. It is Daniel Hogard and Verstappen taking to the action for Division 2, and it's Killer Blue and Packer taking to the action for Division 5 as well. Hopefully, we're going to be seeing you, of course, next week in Brazil. But until then, Montana, of course, who on earth is your driver of the day? It's got to be Campbell, surely.
Campbell, let's give it to Campbell and Packer. Both of them awesome performances. And one of the 2 people watching the stream is me, so I'm going to be heading off to qualifying soon.
I think the other person might be Jav or somebody. I'm certainly not watching it, but whoever it is, thank you so much for tuning in at this point. There's somebody just put a comment in, so I'm guessing it is Jav that is actually watching the stream at this minute, and I'll confirm that in a second. No, it was Funky Chicken. Funky Chicken saying he can't watch Division 2, unfortunately. Terrible. It's because Manchester United get absolutely whitewashed by Brighton. That's probably why. And he has to go and drown his sorrows from the rain. Anyways, I'm going to end it off here before I get ridiculed in the chat from him. I think he's just coming in now and ridiculing me. But there we are. Of course, as I say, Division 2 and Division 5 coming up in around 13 minutes time, so we've got a little bit of time. But hopefully some really good action, of course, out on track to be had. And hopefully some more exciting races to come. But for myself and Montana, thank you so much for watching Division 1 here tonight. And until next time, goodbye.
Bye.